when you see these guys that are athletes coming in, that it wasn't like they had, just one option of fighting. They had multiple options in different sports. They're seeing the checks that Conor McGregor's making, your brother's making. Then they go, I could do this too. Do you think that it's going to become a more...
No, you got to be young, dude.
Yeah.
I was 14. I was 12 watching Hoist Gracie. And you know what I noticed then when I was watching old Hoist out there fucking big old dudes up? Nobody gave a fuck. Nobody cared that Hoist could fuck these guys up. I'm like, dude, if I learn how to fight like Hoist, I'll fuck all these guys up.
Yeah.
And I don't got to be scared no more. And I walk around, I'll be like, I got a hot girlfriend and someone says something, I don't got to sit there and be like, oh, man, got punked in front of my girlfriend. My girlfriend's like, damn, you didn't even say anything. I'm like, you know what happened to me one time? So check it out. Listen, here's a story for you real quick. Here's a Nick Diaz story. Nick Diaz. I can't stand when people say their own name. I'm over here like, I can't stand it. Remember Carl Prezen? He used to be like, yeah, I don't know. What's next for the Heat? What's next for the Heat? He used to call himself the Heat.
Yeah.
The Heat, Carl Prezen, a nickname. The most ridiculous thing to me is a fucking nickname. Oh, I hate nicknames.
Yeah, you never had
dude, come on. You can't even turn your own name into something that's going to be recognized. Like, you want a nickname to do that? I'm like, I don't want that.
So what happened?
But anyway,
you were with your girl?
So I trained in I had my sensei, Eric Shingu. I used to do Goju-Ryu karate, and Eric was a purple belt under Caesar. I'm like a white blue belt at the time. I found Eric. Eric is teaching jiu-jitsu in Lodi, and with the gi. So Steve Heath is fighting. He's about to fight Chuck Liddell, training in Animal House Gym, instructing over there. Has a life on the side, has fights coming up, and is teaching there. Gilas, and then Val Ignatov is there too, and he's teaching Sambo. So I'm learning all this shit, and then I learned from this guy Gus that was under Castiel Warnick from Sacramento, who would come down and he would kind of give a class too at the Animal House Gym. He brought me a gi. I bought it for him for $100. It was a Krugen's. It was a Krugen's gi, and it was the shittiest little gi you've ever seen. But I bought that thing, I put it on, and I told Steve to bring his gi. I started training gi, and then I met Eric Shingo. I realized Eric was holding a class in Lodi at this Japanese hall. So I go there. Then this chick, she shows up one day. I'm training with this guy. One guy's name is Toby. He's Mexican. He can hardly speak English, and he's a big dude. And he used to box pro. So I'm learning a little bit of boxing from him and coming up on some understanding. I watch him hit the bag, punch the bag, and I'm going like, whoa, you're actually like putting some fucking like weight behind these punches. So I immediately from 15 I understood the difference between a kickboxer hitting the bag or punching something versus someone who's actually like understands how to stand right and fucking put some leverage on some real shots. And so anyways, this chick walks in and she's the fucking hottest girl I've ever fucking seen in my life. I could not believe it. She walked right into my, at the time, I'm from Stockton. I'm like, you're not, okay, you don't watch TV? Yeah, but who cares about TV? I'm talking about what I've seen. And this girl, her name was Megan. Her name is Megan Hurd. I don't, if you're out there, Megan. No. Right? Oh, man, I had just failure after failure.
Missed connections.
Fucking failure. I can go on and on about this chick, too. And she doesn't even, hardly knows me or remembers me now. Or I know she does, but it's not like significantly give a fuck. So she's born in Saudi Arabia. I'm like, wow. You live in Lodi, Woodbridge, nice part of Lodi, and you were born in Saudi Arabia. So her dad's loaded. I remember I'm on welfare. I'm broke. I learned jiu-jitsu recently about a year or two ago, and now I'm training Eric Shingu's gym. This girl walks in, and she's like from Lodi High. I think she moved to Lincoln from Lincoln to Lodi High. And all of a sudden she's going to this class, and so I'm just teaching jiu-jitsu with her and learning jiu-jitsu with her and doing all this, hanging out stuff, and we're cool, but I'm putting her on a huge pedestal, which is really bad. She's even putting me on one. I don't even know why I was putting her on one. But we
and you had broke the touch barrier at that point.
Yeah, but I was not good with the touch barrier. I was 15, 16 years old. So okay, so check this out. So I go to a fight with this chick. This chick one day, she's like, let's go to this fight show. I'm like, let's go. I want to go to the fight, and I get her into wanting to go to the fight. So she's going to drive me. I don't have a fucking car or a license, but she does. Yeah. So she picks me up in her white Tahoe, and we drive all the way to bumfuck Orville or somewhere where they're having a King of the Cage, and Rampage is there, right? And here I am.
No.
So these are the same reasons why initially I started learning how to fight and wanting to be able to fight is so like I'd be able to say something like, you know, when in this sort of a situation. So we go into Burger King. I used to fucking eat Burger King back in the day. It was only a 99-cent cheeseburger, right? What do you ain't got no money? So this is before I, went pro and went vegetarian at 18. So we go in to this Burger King. Chris Brennan is a guy, fought Gil Castillo, fought in the UFC for years. He was a really, like, one of the main guys. Like, right now, Chris Brennan would be, like, someone like Marcelo Garcia or someone that you would hear, a name that you would hear all the time, and then has fought. Like, he was a big deal back then, Chris Brennan. And he was really a big deal. He should still be. People like that should really be somebody. It's fucked up. But anyways, yeah, and I was always rude to him, too. He got in an elevator one time, and I was like, I'm like, what, bitch? Like, just punking him. Like, yeah, I'm like, you're just a kid, but I'm punking this fool right to his face because he's not on my team. And this is later after the fact, and this is the reason why, too. Some of the reason why, because his whole team walks into Burger King. Rampage Jackson is on his team back in the day, and a bunch of dudes. Yeah, so he comes up. So Rampage walks up to this girl. So I'm with this girl in line ordering some food. They all come in behind us, right? And he goes, yo, man, yo, is that your girl? That's your girl? I'm 16, 17. That's your girl? That's your girl? I'm like, I don't want to call her my girl because she's sitting right there, and I kind of like her, but she's not, so I'm not gonna be like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. I'm like, no, no, I mean, she's my friend, and no. He goes, oh, okay, all right. He's, yo, girl, and she's like, what? And he's like, yo, girl. He's like, what's your style? And she's all, what are you talking about? And he's all, doggy style. I was like, oh my God. And she's just
doggy style?
Yeah. He's like, doggy style. And I was like, what? They all hyphy on her, right? And I'm just like, oh man. So like, I'm like, I can't say anything. I'm looking at this giant Rampage character, and I'm like, fuck. And there's another team of dudes, and Steve's out fighting with his wife. Steve's married to this wife that's controlling him because people in relationships in Northern California are usually very codependently like in charge and nuts. And your old girl probably runs the show, is how it goes.
Yeah. So you're alone in there with these. So maniacs.
I'm in line. Yeah, he's fighting. I'm so irritated with that too, and because I'm like, you could be in here with me right now, I'd be fine. But no, you're fighting with your wife. Yeah. And then so I don't say nothing. And then we leave this place. She's like, what the? You didn't even say anything. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, bitch, what did you want me to say? No. What did you want me to say to this guy?
Because he wasn't really being disrespectful. He's kind of joking with her, right? He was
joking, and he asked me respectfully, is that your girl?
Right.
And I was like, yeah, well,
yeah. You were saying.
I want her to be. But, yeah, it was fucking